What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the War Room podcast. My name is Rob, and this is my friend in mourning, Andy. How you doing, boss?
Every day's a struggle.
Fair
Every
enough.
day's a struggle. But we're 4-2, so I can't complain.
There you go. There you go. Another interesting week of football in the books. The Jets keep jetsing.
I love it.
It's fun, man. A lot of interesting stuff going on there.
Especially because we live in New Jersey. So the best part is they're just like, we're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Like, we're going to be great next year. It's like, what about the year when you said you were going to be great when you got Sam Darnold? What about the year when you said you're going to be great when you got Le'Veon Bell? You're just – sorry, Jets fans. You guys suck. But as I say that, I'm nervous about this weekend.
You think shut up. Don't – again, you're going to do it again every week. Do you think Quinnen Williams is really on the trade block?
I never was big on Quinnen Williams, and I know you and I had those conversations back in the day regarding him. I think anybody and everybody's on the trading block for the Jets. It's just a matter of the Jets aren't showing their cards of what they're going to do, which makes me laugh being a fan of the Buffalo Bills because some teams will show their cards that they're going to clear house, clear the roster, get in great cap space, and then fire the coach. Like, you don't know what the Jets are going to do. They could keep the coach. They could not keep the coach. They could trade away Sam Darnold. They could not trade away Sam Darnold. You have no idea what they're going to do, and that's so intriguing. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought a player at the trade deadline just because it would be funny. That would be the Jets thing to do.
I'm of the belief that Gase still has a job because they're trying to get the number 1 overall pick. I think that they believe that Adam Gase gives them the best opportunity to have the worst team in the league. I'm honestly there.
And then they fire him right after?
Yeah, I'm honestly there. I'm not saying he's going to last the whole year. I mean, there's only so long, only so much you can do from a locker room perspective. But Quinnen this year, Quinnen's been on this year. He's been really good.
He's been playing good. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been stepping it up, especially with their depleted defensive line. It's just they're just bad. And I say that because I see them twice a year. They can't get pressure on the quarterback. Their corners are atrocious. Their safeties are atrocious. Their best linebacker opted out. Their other linebackers on the trading block. Who's it? Avery Williams? Yeah. He's on the trading block. So – they're literally depleted. And then their offensive players, so to say, and I would never say a bad thing in my entire life, but Frank Gore is your starting running back. And that's scary. That's scary to think. And we've talked about it, and I've talked about it before, so I won't go too deep into it. Their offensive line is built of all backups from other teams. So it's a recipe for disaster. But
yeah,
they win 34-21 this weekend.
I hate you.
You don't. You don't. Sidebar from football conversation. I made barbecue chicken thighs tonight for dinner. Fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit.
Did a little brine, little sugar water brine for the entire day. Threw it on the grill and I brushed the barbecue sauce on it. I don't like to soak. I'm not a big soaker. Brush it on, flip it over, get the good grill lines on it because I only have the gas grill, so I don't have anything else, but fantastic.
Good work out of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And then I threw in green beans, gotta get the veggies in. But.
So, yeah, I've heard about that. So are you do you make your own barbecue sauce? Do you go with no-name brands, like some little local action, or are you just like a fake Sweet Baby Ray guy?
See, I am in upstate New Yorker, so I go the dinosaur barbecue sauce, but I put
That's
a little –
fine. I like that.
I go a little zhuzh. I put the zhuzh in it. So I have my my hot sauce collection that I add certain different hot sauces in each time to mix it up, and then I add cayenne pepper and a little paprika just to give it a little extra kick. Can't do too much because of the wife, but do a little bit. Little zhuzh goes a long way.
I like that. My cooking lately has been absolutely on fire. I'm actually afraid to cook at this point because I don't want to ruin the hot streak.
That's why, I only text you on weekends because I know you're barbecuing. I could care less your football takes.
Yeah. No, it's been real, man. It's been real. I've been very proud of myself.
with your mustard-based sauce. Like this is turning into a football podcast. You're just talking about barbecue.
I'll go all day. And it wasn't a mustard-based sauce. I used it as a binder. So, I marinate the wings overnight. This was kind of like a Cajun style. Then you use the mustard as a binder to put the seasoning on the outside of the mustard, essentially. Ooh. Then you throw sauce on top of that, which I like to make my own. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, dude, that was really good. I got a meat grinder, so I've been making all different types of burgers, and yeah, man, I don't know how much longer I got with the way I've been eating. I've been good.
Godspeed.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I want to talk about something football. Let's go back to football real quick.
I guess.
This is probably going to be considered a hot take, but this is my honest belief. So watching the Cowboys last night, all right? Okay. By the way, the first half, Kyler Murray looked really bad. He really picked it up, though, but in the first half, he looked really bad. Anyway, back to the Cowboys. So I'm watching the game, and Zeke right now, his head's out of it. He has something that I consider worse than any injury you could possibly have, and that's a lack of confidence right now. Yep. He has something like 7 fumbles in the last 13 games or something like that. 4 in the last 5.5. Like he really has been all over the place there.
Tell me where you're going with this. I'm getting excited.
No, it's going to go off here. Your offensive line is completely depleted. They're gone. They went from having arguably the best line of the decade to they're all just gone. They're terrible. Dalton, I understand he wasn't expecting to play right now. He looks horrific. Their defense is the worst in the league, and it's not even close. All they have right now is a receiving core and a stacked receiving core. Okay? That's all they have. Here is my hot take. All right? I'm
excited.
And I know I kid around. I did a lot of kidding about this during draft season. And I spoke up to two players that, are currently free agents that I spoke highly of, more jokingly because I knew it pissed off a lot of people on Twitter, and I love me some pissed off people. I don't know if you know that about me. My hot take is, based upon the situation that they're in, the Dallas Cowboys would be better off with either Tyler Huntley or Cole McDonald over Andy Dalton right now.
Jesus.
So the reason being, hold on, have you ever seen the movie For the Love of the Game?
If I knew you were going to throw a Cole Go ahead. Yes, I've seen For the Love of the Game. I want to know where this.
Okay. So for all of you that aren't, familiar, basically it's a Kevin Costner baseball movie, which means that it's a phenomenal movie because if you put Kevin Costner in a baseball movie, it's guaranteed to be fantastic. Basically what happens is spoiler alert, he winds up throwing a perfect game, the last game of his career. The last at bat, he goes against a kid who is the son of one of Kevin Costner's old teammates. It was the kid's first ever game. So the Yankee coach put in this kid for the last at bat of a perfect game. Why did he put him in? Because the kid was too naive, too excited, too nervous, too anxious to realize the situation he was in. His head was in the perfect spot because he was thinking about what's important about, him achieving a goal, a dream, stuff like that, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm on TV and I'm the last at bat for a perfect game. I'm going to be on a poster one day. Wasn't even thinking about it. That's why he put the kid in. That situation, although that's a movie, I get it. They are going nowhere with Andy Dalton because they have nothing around him except receivers. He cannot get out of the pocket. He has no running game behind him. You are better off with a young, naive quarterback that can move around in the pocket and throw the deep ball. You are better with that. Not saying you're good. I'm just saying you're better with that than what they have right now. End of hot take.
All right, rebuttal. They're in first place. All right, next topic.
Okay, come on, dude.
Jesus.
Stop it. I don't care if they're in first place. The division is garbage.
Yeah, exactly. So you can put this statue of Andy Dalton's sister back there And it wouldn't matter. That division is atrocious.
Yeah, they're horrible.
And until why even Andy Dalton has won games, keep him back there. I get it, and trust me, I would love to see some rookies or some anybody get some burn, but they're not gonna do it for the simple fact that they're in first in a terrible division where, I mean, your other man crush should be starting for the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion.
We can talk about that, but let's not. Actually, I'm not allowed to talk about that, so we can't. But at the same time, let's rewind here. Again, I'm not saying that these guys are NFL caliber quarterbacks.
You just want to got to try.
All I'm saying is you're better off in that situation. If I were them right now, if I'm Mike McCarthy, okay, and I'm told, and I have it written somewhere, whatever his contract is, doesn't he have a 4-year deal? I think he has
Dalton?
a 4. No, McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthy, yeah, 4 year.
Okay, if he has a 4-year deal, and you're in year 1. Right now, I am going with one of those, or a young rookie. Find someone else. I didn't go through the whole list. Find someone else that's available that is young and naive, that will listen to me and will take shots, because you have a receiving core that you're killing right now. That is easily as much as I hate and despise Amari Cooper, that is easily the best 1-2-3 trio in the league, bar none, case closed. Okay? You have that and nothing else. You cannot let their careers die right now. And that's what they're doing. It's only 1 year, but this is a big year for them. You can get a lot more out of them than what you are. Get a young, naive quarterback that's going to take some chances because you have nothing else. Nothing. No defense, no running game, no offensive line. All you have are these stud trio receivers. That's my point.
I got a guy that, now that you're talking about it, that he's always been my man crush, just for the simple fact that he was a gunslinger, he's a thug, he's been arrested multiple times, and he's been kicked out of a school, then went to another school, crushed it at that school. Chad Kelly, imagine him in that offense.
Fine.
Dude was just a gunslinger. I mean, he maybe pulled out different guns at clubs, you never know, but that would be fun. I could get behind that, but at the same point, like
give me Tyree Jackson. Fine. I don't care.
The end of the conversation comes when it goes, man, the Cowboys lost. That sucks. And it's like, wait a second. They're still in first.
It doesn't mean you can't improve your team, though. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm sure that, the 3 people that listen to this are going to call me an idiot for saying, Tyler Huntley and, and Cole McDonald, fine, whatever.
You know what? That's fine. Let the 3 people call you an idiot, and I want them to tell 3 of their friends that you're an idiot so that we can grow this. So everybody, please, just, hashtag Rob's an idiot. That'd be fantastic.
Done. I'll start it tonight.
Done. But, God,
Do you want to talk about the Eagles? If we talk about the Eagles, am I going to get flamed? Where's this going to go? I
don't know. I mean, the Eagles are terrible.
They are.
They should be sellers, but they won't because they have too much pride in the organization.
Did you see the play where Jamon Brown, their right guard, literally, so he makes a block and 2 players also run outside of his cap, and instead of just going after them, he actually stops and fixes his gloves.
Nice, I like it.
Mid play, he's just sitting there.
Like the Chuck Knoblauch.
They are so bad. For what you said, though, I read something that I thought was a good point. I don't think that Jalen Hurts should be replacing him right now. However, I think he's the weapon that Wentz needs. And I think that's an interesting theory. And you can't really go wrong. But, my buddy texted me saying, you were right. You got to put him in now. And I said, please don't put my Jalen behind that offensive line. Please.
Yeah. The offensive line is bad, but the worst part about the entire their cornerbacks are just non-existent.
They are.
And that you cut a former second-round pick, you trade away another hot, decent football player. Like I'm a firm believer that you can sometimes catch a good corner in late rounds. It's tough to do for an outside corner. Corner is one of the skill positions that you need to draft someone early that fits the bill. It's not one of those guys like an offensive lineman where you can draft him in the 5th or 6th round, or defensive lineman, defensive end, where you can they just click. I mean, those skill positions, you're going up against the best of the best wide receivers, you're going to get torched. And that's what the Eagles tried to go with. They're like, oh, we got decent corners. It's like, joke's on you. You don't. Like, if you're going up against the wide receivers that you have within your league, within your division, you're going to get torched. So I don't get it. I mean, their defensive line is where they've been putting their bread and butter and saying, like, look, we don't need great corners because we'll get to the quarterback faster than anybody else. They're just not. It's just not – they're not producing. So
much of it with corners, the scheme too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can get by if you're doing like some type of, like we were talking about last week with cover sixes and everybody's just back into some sort of zone. You can get away with that. But when you're asking these guys to go man to man against, Dallas, for instance,
can't do it.
Granted, nobody can throw him the ball, but not to get back to that. But, that's tough. That's very difficult to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I know we don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's definitely something that we should mention just because it is current events with the benching of Fitzmagic. Not really benching. I don't want to say that, especially because, one, I have a hatred for the guy in my heart, but I also love the guy to death because he's just a fantastic player. Like, his teammates love him no matter where he goes. But he's taking the back seat, and it's Tua time in Miami. They think now is the time where I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying that this is the halftime of the Alabama game, where the season is halfway there. They're going to put in Tua to try to take the AFC East because the AFC East is open. I mean, the Buffalo Bills look terrible the past 2 games. The Patriots lost in a shocker of a game to Denver. So now's the time. And Miami's always been primed. They have a great young wide receiving core. They have solid pieces on defense. They have some of the most money spent in the NFL in corners. So they can do it. And I mean, they got a great coach, defensive-minded coach. I think their offensive coach is terrible, their offensive coordinator. But, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. What do you did it catch you off guard or no?
Yeah, it did. I actually recorded that game just because I was hoping that he would come in to say it. Man, I actually mess around. Like I have a joke with my wife about how people like Ryan Fitzpatrick just piss me off because it's unfair that somebody could be, an NFL
smart
player
and good
and
at
have
sports.
a degree from Harvard. That's not fair.
No, that's stupid.
It's so unfair.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like I thought it was so cool, watching him throw up his arms in excitement for like and kind of making the joke to like amp up the crowd and all that. Like that's awesome. You know what I mean? He went into this knowing full well I am not the future here. I am just a placeholder, and I'm going to do everything I can to help this kid out. And he's been awesome, man. If you watch Miami, he's on the sideline at the end of every drive. He's sitting there with the iPad talking with Tua. He talks to Tua more than the offensive coordinator. Right. He's there the whole time going over plays. I admire that, bro. I really do. That's cool. That's what sports is all about. That's really what sports is all about. It's fantastic. It really is.
There hasn't been one of his teammates on either side of the ball, and he's been on every team basically that has said something negative about him. So I mean, that's a reason why he continues to have a job in the league. Is he'll do his Fitzmagic games where he'll throw for 350, 4 touchdowns, and then he'll do his next game where he throws for 120 and 5 picks. But like, he's a locker room guy. He's a great teacher. He'll teach them like what you can do, what you can't do. He can't make the throws, but he can show you what he sees in the defense. And it's fantastic. It hurts me to see because I think the Miami Dolphins could definitely be a good team for years to come if Tua is healthy. But it's definitely a topic it was a little bit of a shock. I mean, Miami's playing, they just won 24-0 against the Jets. Granted, it's the Jets, but they're 3-3. They're in second place. They sit behind the Buffalo Bills, who are 4-2 with a 2-game skid. It's the division's open, and it's a little risky for me, even though Tua has the ability for them to put him in. But you never know. It could be one of those Lamar Jackson type deals where you put him in, and then all of a sudden you take off.
Man, I'm gonna shoot a positive to the Jets real quick. Not the team itself, but one of the players. In that game, it is very clear that team doesn't care. They're gone. Gase has completely lost that team. Frank Gore plays at 130% every goddamn play. I love it. I
Yep.
love it. Fourth quarter down 24-0. He is running his ass off. Dude's like 75. I love it. That is so cool.
I'm just praying he makes it 3 more years.
So his son comes up.
Or 2 more tops. If he can play with his son, I don't care where he is, I'm buying the jersey for both him and his son.
Absolutely.
I don't think it will happen. Granted, I mean, he could. He doesn't go backwards.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't go backwards, but I don't know. I know we talked about that a little bit. My last one that I just wanted to talk about, or one that popped off the page to me, I know I mentioned the Broncos beating the Patriots a little bit. Cam Newton just looked off. The thing that pops off the page to me more than anything right now, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere there.
No, I'm just going to go Chicago Bears being 5-1. The Chicago Bears made a QB switch early in the season. Mitch Trubisky was one of those, when you and I were watching the draft before we started doing all this, we were kind of both just like, huh? Like you went up and got, huh? And why? And it proved to not work in Chicago, but man, their defense.
They have a better option though that year. I mean, there was no other quarterbacks that year, was there?
I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, it's not like there was like Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
it's either way. I just think that the Chicago Bears, they're very underrated. They definitely got a stellar defense, which is just insane. And it's 5-1 is nothing to slouch at, which is crazy to see. So Pat Mahomes went that year. Deshaun Watson went that year.
I was being sarcastic. I was kidding with you.
No, but the thing that's just making me laugh is I'm gonna try to go down to other QBs later on. Deshaun Kaiser. Is he still alive?
Kaiser?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on our practice squad for a little bit.
C.J. Beathard.
Ooh.
That was the starting quarterback for the 49ers last week when Garoppolo got benched, then all of a sudden came back and had a resurrection and decided to beat the Rams. But I don't know. Either way, what are your thoughts on this week? Any games?
Hold on, I want to go back to what I was really excited about.
What were you excited about?
We were talking about the Denver surprise against New England, and I don't know if you noticed a certain player that might have been an undrafted free agent last year that one of us in a stunningly gorgeous pink hoodie may have been talking up tremendously out of Nevada, Malik Reed.
The defensive end?
Dude, 2 sacks on Cam? I'm telling you, I nailed that one. Nailed it. I had a 3rd-round grade on that dude. I have no idea how the hell he went as an undrafted free agent. I had no clue. I was so excited to see that. Here, I'll do it again. Pat myself on the back.
Touche.
He's been good all around. It's just that was just a really big game, so I got excited.
Yeah, I mean they pulled it off. I was happy. I was watching the game on TV because I wanted to make sure that it was going to do the same outcome. And then, of course, I switched the channel to the Bengals Colts because the Bengals collapse was just amazing to watch. But yeah,
I also want to throw some props to the Bucs. When the Packers went up 10-0, I actually said to myself, the Packers might be the best team in the league. I really thought that. And then the rest of the game happened. Bucs, they played a hell of a game, man. That was very good.
Best team in the league? I can tell you this. And then would you like me to give myself one of these?
Go ahead.
And for those of you that did not see, I just patted myself on the back. I would like to say the Pittsburgh Steelers, unfortunately, are the best team in the league. And there is a certain wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers that is having an absolutely insane, monstrous rookie season. Rob, would you like to say his name?
No.
Okay, well, I will. It's Claypool. Claypool was exactly what I thought he would be. And it sucks because the Pittsburgh Steelers They,
They might be.
they just look nasty.
Yeah, they might be the best in the league.
Bud Dupree finally came into Bud Dupree's always been a good player. He's finally coming into what they thought he was going to be.
You know what's scary about him? He is phenomenal in coverage also.
Yeah.
That's scary. When you can have a pass rusher like that can cover that well, that dude, you don't see that. Like, that doesn't exist. He's good. That whole team is fantastic.
Their wide receivers are ridiculous. Their third string running back was one of the guys that I loved coming out of Maryland, McFarland. Like, they are just I think Connors is their worst running back, and he's of course not. And they're just stacked. They're stacked. Their tight ends are stacked. Their wide receivers are 4 or 5 deep. It's insane. It's insane. So if Ben can stay healthy, because if he goes down and then you have to put Mason back in, he has half a skull. It's not going to work.
But going into next week, that's the game I kind of have my eye on, Steelers at Titans.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a primetime game to watch, the Steelers and the Titans. The Titans have been playing unreal. The Titans are outside of the Titans just having a good roster. I mean, Vrabel could be coach of the year.
He's awesome.
He's just so smart cool. Too. When he ran out 12 men on the field just to get the penalty to get the clock to stop, it's just dude's playing chess when everybody else is playing battleships. It's just a mess.
How about Lions Falcons? That's exciting, right?
I mean, geez, I'd be down. There's nothing really next week. Nothing really jumps off the page. I mean, I'm gonna watch the Toilet Bowl because it's this Thursday, so the Toilet Bowl is gonna be interesting for me to see. Get to watch the good old Giants against the Eagles on Thursday.
I like the spread in that one.
I haven't even looked at the spread yet, but
as of this morning, Eagles -3.5.
A game that I'm excited about that I'm looking forward to watching because this team is so close to self-destructing after last week's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Bengals beat the Browns, oh boy. Oh boy. You're going to get a bunch of those diva Browns players on social media just going off about how they want out of there.
Yep, absolutely.
And it could happen. I mean, I will keep saying it. The Bengals are going to be scary good. Joe Burrow is a good quarterback. They have good running backs. It's just their defense isn't there. Their I don't know.
They have 3 players, and this is what makes me wonder though. They have 3 players that have requested a trade, and one that's rumored to. John Ross, Geno Atkins, and Carlos Dunlap.
I can understand the defensive line, but John Ross, he shouldn't request anything besides a roster spot. Don't say a word. You're going to get hurt by requesting something. So just sit there and shut up and collect a paycheck.
I just find it interesting that 3 players have, and then there's been rumors that A.J. Green isn't happy there, but that was never really stated.
He said he doesn't want to trade.
I don't know that I believe that, to be honest.
I mean,
but that makes me wonder too if that many players aren't happy there. I don't know. Bears Rams, I think is going to be a good game. Like you said, the Bears are very, very good. If they just have some type of normalcy at quarterback, they'll be all right with that defense. I'll be honest. I know I told you I don't want to talk about them, but I'm really excited for the Bucs Raiders. I think that's a big game.
You guys got it. I'm not even being sarcastic, just to puff you up. Tom Brady's a statue, man, and he's getting worse and worse each week. And if you guys put together the same game plan and the amount of pressure that you put together with your front 4 against the Tom Brady, with Gronk not looking 100%, your corners playing up to the caliber in which they did the game in which you beat the Chiefs, I think you got it. I mean,
if they do, I'm going to start really thinking, we're going for this thing. I'm going to start thinking that if we win this game. Right now, I still think we're kind of middle of the road, but if they win that game, I'm going to start thinking, okay, maybe make a move for somebody at the trade deadline, kind of go all in, because we have the easiest schedule. We have the easiest schedule based upon win percentage for the rest of the year. So you got to go for it at that point. If you start out 4-2 with the teams that we went against, you've got to go for it. You have to.
For sure.
But yeah, there's some good games, man. Definitely some good games. I got your Survivor pick because I know you're really interested in that Chargers
against the Jags.
Yes.
See, I I think I might go against what I normally do, and this is just because I feel like torturing myself. I might actually take the Buffalo Bills because I haven't used them yet because we play the Jets.
I thought you used them already for some reason.
No, I don't like to use them because I don't like when they break my heart. I know that sounded sad. We can cue the music in the background, but I might go with that. But the Chargers one's not a bad pick. The thing that sucks about this coming week, and it's just because we're old. Like a lot of the good games are at 4. Like, hey, I'm gonna have to take a nap.
You're really upset about that? That's a little much.
I
That's a little much.
I'm gonna have to pace myself. I'm gonna have to take a nap.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Wow.
Like, think about it. The 1 o'clock games are not as good as the Seahawks against the Cardinals. That game is legit. The Chiefs, nobody really cares about. They're going to kill up on the Broncos. Chargers, Jags, and Patriots, 49ers will be a draw. The Raiders against the Bucks are the late night game. So I mean, that's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Like 1 o'clock, you have Bills, Jets. Hopefully, that's not a game. Cowboys against the Washington Football Association of Washington.
Steelers, Titans.
Steelers, Titans is a good one. Packers, Texans. Texans looks like they possibly turned it on, but I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's one big mess of the week. But we're coming closer to the trade deadline, which makes things more exciting.
So we should have some fun over the next 2 weeks with the trade deadline.
I hope so, man. I don't think we're going to be buyers as a Buffalo Bills fan.
I meant we as in you and I on the show.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying we're definitely going to have fun. I definitely think people are going to make some stupid trades, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But we're coming close to the end of the show. This week was a little bit different than last. Every week's going to be a little bit different. So with that being said, please make sure that you guys follow us on our social handles on Twitter and Instagram at @_War Room 33. Tweet at us. Send us an Instagram message about anything that you want us to cover, or if you just want us to talk barbecue, I'll do that.
And if you guys are watching on YouTube, maybe I just haven't been, describing it good enough. So subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. That little bell is going to give you a notification that, we put up our new show, and then you can watch that. Like us, share, tell a friend, tell a family member. If your dog wants to watch, that's fine. Cool. But yeah, do your thing.
But until next week, guys, appreciate it.
Later, everybody.